po kayo, lumalalim po ba sa inyong pananaw ang kanilang mga argumento?
Nabuboard ako doon sa dalawang NBI witness kasi they were supposed to corroborate each other's testimony. Instead, they made it worse kasi yung ang isa nagsabi na there was an order from the higher-ups. Tapos yung isa, si Attorney Lotok, ay nagmamali-mali siya doon. Sinabi niya may typographical error siya. Which he was admonished by Senator Escudero na ano ibig mo sabihin na typographical error ka sa dalawang dokumento? Which Senator Amy Marcos, of course, was the one who brought that out to the Senate court. So, first 2 days, the first 2 witnesses ng prosecution, I don't think they were exciting at all. You know, these NBI agents are so boring, you know. You know that they're just, inuutusan lang sila. Yung tingin siya ng tingin sa notes niya, yun yung humarap. Kasi siguro nahihiya rin siya sa mga sinasabi niya. You know, I was a judge also as COMELEC commissioner. I was chair of my division. And we decided over election cases, of course, including the disqualification case of Bongbong Marcos. I was the presiding officer there. Makikita namin yung demeanor ng witnesses. Kasama po yan sa pag-weigh mo ng credibility ng witness. Kung siya ba ay is she telling the truth? Is he lying? Is he avoiding? Ganon, ano? So, yung Attorney Lotok, yung demeanor niya was very poor as a witness kasi tago siya ng tago sa notes niya at sinabi niyang dalawang typographical error.
Katanggap-tanggap po ba yun? Parang di ba pag ikaw nga ay magsasubmit lang ng thesis mo, talagang double check ng proofread, triple check pa nga po, and I mean for an NBI agent.
Ibig sabihin, he's not telling the truth. Kasi kung isa lang, baka masabi mo pa, baka nagkamali lang ng petsa ito, di ba? Pero dalawa, pare-parehas, tsaka abogado siya, hindi niya tiningnan bago siya nag-subscribe sa affidavit niya. Hindi naman siguro matatanggap ng mga senador yan at public na nagkamali lang siya. His rank is too high, director siya, tapos lawyer siya, his rank and professional qualifications too high to make two errors that are crucial because it will affect his credibility.
Ma'am, marami rin tayong nakapansin ng mga taga-subaybay. May mga nag-message, may mga nag-post po sa ating mga channels. Marami nakapansin po, nakayuko po si attorney. Is this indicative of anything? Hindi po siya makatingin.
Nakayuko siya lagi, di ba?
Nakayuko. Yung iba naman pong witnesses, talagang eye to eye sa inyo.
Oo, talaga.
What does this indicate, ma'am? Or am I reading too much into
No,
it?
you're correct. That's why I said na kaming mga huwes, ang mga huwes, including, of course, Senator Escudero, will have to take that demeanor as something na parang avoidance. Nag-avoid siya ng eye contact because ayaw niyang matanong ng hard questions. And that will affect his credibility. Di naman yata katanggap-tanggap na lagi na lang siya nakayuko, nakatingin sa notes niya. Kaya, di ba, the defense counsel emphasized that he was just reading from his notes. But, reading from your notes is also allowed, even in court. If you read from your notes, the notes na ikaw ang gumawa. Pero, siyempre, hindi naman yung lahat, babasahin mo na lang dyan para ka namang, parang robot ka lang. Babasahin mo lang lahat doon sa sinulat. Baka may iba ang sumulat niyan para sa'yo. That's the point why, not looking at the judge and the court is when you are a witness, especially if you're a government officer of such high rank, is a no-no. Yung points mo, bababa for credibility. Di ba? Which is exactly what happened. Dalawang errors sa petsa, sa subpoena, tsaka sa affidavit niya. sasabihin niya lang typographical error. Yung typographical error, ano lang yun, yung mga nag-misspell yung pangalan, di ba? Yung mga, hindi pwedeng typographical error lang yung petsa.
Bukod
Kasi
po,
notaryado yun.
Opo. Oo, tsaka ilang beses ni-review yan ng notaryo, syempre, di
No,
ba?
tsaka sinulat niya binasa niya yun. Abogado siya.
So, bukod po dyan, attorney, bukod po sa sinasabi nga natin na kaduda-dudang body language, ayon nga po sa ating maraming taga-subaybay, ay marami sa mga kritiko rin nagsasabi nga, nakapo na rin po ng ganoon, tsaka yung mga typographical errors niya. Ano po sa palagay nyo yung biggest weakness na naipresenta niya ni Attorney Lotoc bilang isang witness?
Ang purpose kasi ng pag-present nila ng, I don't know if this is their strongest witnesses I don't think these are the strongest witnesses for the prosecution. And yet, inopen nila yung curtain ng trial with these witnesses who are, for me, they are weak witnesses. They have not mastered their testimonies. The first one was presented as some kind of forensic expert. 2 buwan lang naman siya nag-aaral nung forensic evidence analysis, expert na siya. 'Di ba? Sa aming mga kunyari, if you go to attend a certain program in Harvard, before you can attend a certain program, you should be considered an expert in your field. You should have a minimum of at least 8 years in that field, di ba? Siya, 2 months lang siya nag-aaral nung forensic evidence analysis, expert na siya doon, di ba? So, it doesn't mean that if he's presented as some kind of expert, that he is an expert, di ba? At saka, I don't think he was presented as an expert witness. Iba yun. Iba yung dapat siligutan. Sinabi niya, Your Honors, we are presenting at the NBI agent so-and-so as an expert witness on forensic analysis of the video. He is an expert witness on that video. But unfortunately, yun nga, hiningi lang nila sa ABS-CBN yung video na yun after the date that they issued that this Attorney Lotoc signed or had his affidavit notarized. So, hindi nagtutugma. In other words, this is a credibility problem for the prosecution. Plus, sinamin nung isa na may nag-utos.
Okay. Actually, ma'am, ito nga, sinaliksik ko nga. I remember, for you to become an expert, you have to at least have a certain number of hours. For instance, yung basic standard rule po, 10,000-hour rule comes from Malcolm Gladwell's 2008 book na Outliers.
Yeah, that's
na
it.
ibinasi po sa psychologist na talaga nag-aaral po nitong pagiging expert nga sa anumang larangan na si Kay Anders Erickson.
Kaya sinabi ko na in my view, it's at least 8 years in the practice of your specific profession na ganon. Na, di ba? As forensic evidence expert, for example. Ang hirap naman na paniwalaan natin yung sinasabi niya, siya mismo parang hindi siya sure. Tingin siya ng tingin doon sa notes niya. Tsaka sinabi nung his first witness na may nag-utos from the top. So, it gives us the conclusion that this is really, VP Sara was really a target of political persecution. Remember, of course, impeachment really is political, hindi ba? Pero hindi naman pwedeng walang ebidensya. Kasi nga court siya di ba? The Senate now, functions as an impeachment court. So hindi na po pwede diyan yung mga pa-bragadotso, pa-sigat-sigat na kukwelyuhan kita, kakaladkarin kita. Hindi na po pwede yan, Senator Tulfo. Kasi you're there as a judge, nakarobe ka nga dyan. Alam nyo kami mga naging huwes o naging commissioner. Malaki din bagay yan sa amin na pag nakarobe kami, dapat kagalang-galang kami. Hindi po ba? Lalong kagalang-galang. Kaya dyan po ay dapat nakikinig na ang mga senador, judges who are not used to this role, such as Senator Erwin Tulfo, to listen more and watch the evidence and view the evidence and read up on the rules of court or Supreme Court decisions, so para may batayan sila sa kanilang desisyon kung ito ba ang sinasabi ni Attorney Lotok ay kapani-paniwala. Hindi na po pwede yung magpadala sila sa kanilang political na color or partisanship, no? Kaya titingnan ng tao, dapat ang Senate Impeachment Court ay dapat maging fair para may due process naman ang VP Vice President. They have to be fair. Not only that they have to be fair and impartial, but they must appear to be fair and impartial.
Do you
Di ba?
think they will, at the end of the day, be fair and impartial?
Senator Risa Ontiveros has a problem with impartiality because she has already declared that she's running for president against VP Sara in 2028. That makes her not impartial because she has a conflict of interest. It is in her benefit, to her benefit, that VP Sara is therefore impeached because she is the woman to beat in 2028. But so if I were the defense counsel, I will file a motion to inhibit Senator Risa Ontiveros.
It has been done before. Siyempre, pag may conflict of interest po,
It's
no?
never been done in an impeachment trial.
But in other countries, would you
Well,
would
in
you
other
have?
courts, the judge
In other courts?
can be inhibited.
Kasi parang ayun po yung logical dapat di ba? Kasi kung
Yeah.
may interest ka nga pang sarili.
Ay, nag-declare na siya.
Oo.
In fact, galing na siya dun sa amin sa Iloilo na nag-meeting, na doon, ng malaking crowd. So, may conflict of interest siya. Dapat siya na mismo, para she will look good, siya na mismo nagsabi na after reflection, I think I better inhibit myself.
Well,
If I were advising Senator Risa Ontiveros, I would advise her to inhibit herself.
okay, ma'am, dito naman po kasi ay patas tayo sa balita, di ba? So, ito naman po, mapunta po tayo, speaking of being fair, kay presiding officers, Senator Judge na si Chis Escudero, ano po masasabi niyo? Kasi meron din pong mga kritiko, mga opposition din na nagsabi, mukhang may hope, mukhang promising yung kanyang pagpe-preside. Dahil sa ngayon, it appears that is trying to be fair or
The
appear
question
fair.
is,
Your take, ma'am.
number one, why did the majority have to pick Senator Escudero when Senator Gatchalian was already the Senate President? And my reading of the Constitution is he should be the one presiding because it is not the President or the Chief Justice who is being impeached. It's an admission on the part of Senator S.P. Gatchalian that he is not able, that he is not competent to preside over the impeachment trial and that he might be viewed as partial. So, for that, I give him points, okay? Not that I agree that they can just appoint a presiding officer. You have to follow the Constitution, but andyan na yan eh. And the other thing is, bakit hindi si Kiko Pangilinan? Bakit si Chis Escudero? Kasi si Kiko Pangilinan, hindi yan nag-practice ng matagal. Mag-graduate yan sa UP, pumasok agad yan sa local politics, ng konsehal yan, hindi ba? So, wala siyang, kumbaga, enough sufficient experience siguro sa rules of court. Tapos baka ayaw niyang siya. Kasi he's looking at the future. Baka mamaya, may mangyari pa. Di ba? Masisi pa siya. But si Escudero is a good choice. Kasi marunong na, ako inabot pa niya ako dyan sa college na I was his senior. Nag-abot pa kami sa college. It's a good choice because among them, he's the one who knows the rules of court better. And he has already, what do you call this? I think he practiced law before he entered politics. So far naman, ang mga call ng mga ruling ni Senator Escudero ay ayon naman sa rules of court tsaka sa I suppose rules of the Senate, no? Kasi dati naman siyang Senate President, hindi ba? Tsaka marunong siyang makinig muna bago siya mag-ruling, di ba? Yung pinapa-strike from the record ni Senator Pia Cayetano, yung mga sinabing ganun-ganun. kinausap niya muna si Senator Pia, and then he made a ruling na wag na lang i-strike, let it remain on the record. Let the senators decide for themselves how to treat that statement, because anyway, na-publicize na naka-on TV na because he also has to be, accommodate the senator judges. Mahirap, ibang usapan to Ibang klaseng hearing itong court ng Senate Court
Oo.
Doon sa mga regional trial courts, isa lang ang judge. Sa Court of Appeals, 3 lang ang justices. Ito, marami sila no? And each one will vote according to how she or he will view the evidence. Yung tinatanong ako, what is the standard of evidence?
Opo.
Hindi naman daw beyond reasonable doubt. Kasi hindi naman criminal case ito. Sinasabi ng prosecution para mas madali sa kanila. Pero hindi naman po ito administrative case. Kaya hindi naman po dapat substantial evidence lang. For example, 3 lang dyan. Dokumento lang, ganyan. Pwede na yan. Hindi pwede. Hindi rin ito civil case na preponderance o paramihan ng testigo. Hindi rin pwede. Sa akin although the rules of the Senate does not specify, correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Escudero, that the Constitution also does not specify, because the Constitution gives the Senate and the senators leeway to exercise their judgment and discretion according to their appreciation of the evidence. In my opinion, dapat po somewhere naman in between. Huwag naman yung napakadali. Huwag naman yung beyond reasonable doubt, dahil hindi naman po ito kriminal na kaso. Political naman po kaso ito At the end of the day, titingnan nyo kung sinong bumoto to impeach Sara. Sigurado si Risa Ontiveros will vote to impeach Sara kasi that is her going to be her nemesis in 2028. That's why I'm advising her to inhibit herself. It's unsolicited advice, di ba? So dapat clear and convincing evidence. Hindi naman siya beyond reasonable doubt, hindi naman to criminal case, hindi rin siya administrative case, hindi siya civil case. Gawin nyo naman clear and convincing evidence, pero grabe naman, hindi naman paramihan ng testigo. Balita ko, between the prosecution and the defense, 100 witnesses daw.
Ang sa
magkano nang gagastusin nyo dyan? 100 witnesses pakikinggan namin, no? At mga tao, inihintay pa rin na may makulong dyan sa flood control corruption, pero hanggang ngayon wala. Yung mga tao,
ilang buwan na lang po, magsasona na. So sa tingin nyo may re-report pong ating Pangulo?
Di bilis-bilisan nila na mapakulong si Martin Romualdez para masabi niya na, may pinakulong ako ng malaking isda naman. First cousin ko yan, pero pakulong siya. Di ba? Kasi kung hindi si Martin Romualdez ang mastermind, hindi si BBM ang mastermind. Kailangan makulong si Martin Romualdez dyan. Pero tingnan mo naman ginagawa ng ating administrasyon at ng Senado. Napasa na doon sa House of Representatives ang bill na sinasabi ni Leandro Lebiste to suspend the collection of the VAT and the excise tax sa ating fuel. Hindi niya pa pinapasa dyan sa Senado. Mas importante naman yun sa araw-araw na buhay ng tao. Kahit mag-impeachment trial kayo, dapat nagsisession din sana kayo. Para naman po yung grabe naman yung
gastos po natin dyan, 25 million pesos a day. Sa Senado para mag-operate lang po. So sana nga yung mga nakabimbing batas.
We should not be distracted. And they should not be distracted from their duty, which is to alleviate the poverty now that our people are suffering, di ba? More than half of the Filipinos are hungry. 1.5 million we have no jobs. 15 million are underemployed or working only part-time. Suspend nyo na muna yung collection ng excise tax at VAT dyan sa fuel para konting ginawa naman po. So, pag sa impeachment, alam naman ng tao na this is distracting us from the flood control. Pero sige, kung gusto nyo ito panoorin namin, susuriin namin kayo.
Ito, attorney, balik po tayo sa day 5 kahapon Marami pong na-excite, including me, dahil dumating na po si Attorney Zulaika Lopez po sa impeachment. Dahil pinatawag nga po siya ng una ng prosecution bilang testigo. Pero binawi po
Undersecretary.
nila. binawi po nila. Bakit po ganun? Kasi sila po yung nagpatawag. Dumating po si Attorney Lopez.
Kasi na-realize nila na mali pag pinatawag nila.
Oh.
It is not out of the goodness of their heart na patawag nila, sabihin nila, redundant lang daw, paulit-ulit lang yung sasabihin niya. I remember, gusto nilang ipatawag si Undersecretary Lopez as a hostile witness. Mga kababayan, yung hostile witness, yun yung witness na hostile sa'yo, kalaban mo. Yung hindi yun magtitistigo para sa iyo. Kaya hostile witness ang tawag doon. Ngayon, hindi naman automatic yun na pwede mo na lang kahit sino dyan na ayaw mo, ilagay mo dyan. Dapat nagde-decide si Senator Escudero kung papayagan niya yon, hindi ba? Yun number 1. Number 2, nagkamali sila. Kasi pag nilagay mo yun as hostile witness, abogada yan eh.
Oo.
Ang tagal na rin nag-practice niya ni Attorney Lopez, sigurado kung hindi nag-practice, at least administrative law, dahil dating city administrator yan ng Davao City. Siyempre, ang abogado, marunong siya if it's a trap question. Marunong siya if it's a trick question, marunong siya sumagot dyan. So instead na gusto mo siyang ilunod doon sa gusto mong line of questioning and testimony, lalo naman siyang nakadepend ng sarili niya. At kay Vice President Sara, isa pa. And I think the more important thing, why inatrust nila yan, and if they don't realize it yet, well, at least now I'm saying it, is because USEC Attorney Lopez testimony would have proven that the so-called utterances that they classified as grave threats of VP Sara were just emotional outbursts.